Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Kay, and I'm your host today. And today we have on the show Nick Baker, Managing Director of Baker and Baker Recruitment. Nick is going to be my guest, and today we're going to be talking all about his business journey to business ownership, challenges, and best practices, and really give you a sneak peek to what it's really like to run and operate a business. If this is your first time on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop episodes like this. So, hello, Nick, and welcome. How are you today? I'd love to hear a little bit about you and your business.
Hi, Kay. Yeah, thanks a lot for the invitation. It's good to be involved, and yeah, doing well, thank you. And obviously a bit of a background to the business itself. It's very much, as it says, the name says, it's recruitment, and very much involved with the automotive and technical sectors, along with some other industry sort of sectors as well. So broad range, but a fairly specialist and I'd say niche in terms of the experience and knowledge that we've got, and the team we have in place.
That sounds really cool. I like learning about this because I think it's something recruitment is something that is much needed, especially in today's day and age. So, I'd like to learn a little bit about what your current role is in the ownership, and what does your day to day look like when it comes to working in the business versus on the business.
Yeah, sure. So no, I yeah, very much sort of involved with the whole of the business itself. So yeah, pretty much the day-to-day operation, and working from establishing new clients and onboarding them to dealing with the candidates and the vacancies and that part of it. Plus, sort of overseeing all the back office part as well. So fortunately, my wife is involved with the business. She's very much involved with the marketing aspects. But yeah, just pretty much everything really, from sourcing all the way to account management, business development, and everything to keep it running smoothly.
So, I'm guessing each day is kind of a unique experience in its own.
It can be, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's cliche is not every day is the same, but yeah, it can be very varied.
And how many employees do you currently have in the business?
So there's myself, there's my wife Lucy, and I've got one full-time employee currently.
And I'd like to dive into kind of what makes your business special, what makes it unique. Who do you kind of mentioned a little bit of like who you serve. And like if I were in the audience, how would I know I would be a good client for you?
So we're very much, as I say, we're trying to work around the sort of automotive engineering sector. The networks and connections that we've got, that they should know sort of certainly who I am, and who one of my team is, Gary, as well, because we've both been recruiting for this industry for over 25 years. And really also it's down to the journey of taking people through from a candidate perspective all the way to placing them, and giving them that full service and looking after them, and also doing the same with the clients as well. It's very important we have good established relationships and good news spreads, and certainly that's one way that we've built up on what we've got. It's so important to make sure that we're giving people all the right level of service. So that's sort of a key factor behind it.
Oh, definitely. And how would you say your competitors are compare with you?
Nowhere near as good. But
I
no,
like
no,
that.
there's some very long-term sort of established companies, recruitment companies out there that have been doing this for a long time. And yeah, really, it's we're all about, as I say, just that sort of that journey really, and making sure that, as I say, the candidates that we deal with are communicated with efficiently, and also we have good long-standing relationships with the managers and the clients that we deal with. But yeah, there's some good agencies out there, there's some bad agencies, and I guess that's just the nature of everything that goes on, in any sector that anyone deals with. But yeah, we like to stand out, being niche and looking after the people.
Yeah, that leads me right into my next question, which is like, what is something that you wish people knew about your business that they maybe don't today?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I would say it's probably sticking around. Yeah, the fact that we're not just a company that or an agency that will just fling a CV in ultimately and hope it sticks and just get that deal. Because I know that there's recruiters, we get that reputation of we're just after making money and just do it as quickly and as swiftly as I say as possible. But yeah, we're very much we're not that. We strive to work with quality over quantity. We're not looking for that quick fix. We're looking for that long-term relationship and actually working with the clients and establishing that as a partner. So that I would say is something that a lot of people would think, oh, we're just another recruitment company out there. There's more facets to that, I would say.
Oh, definitely. That's a really good point that you bring up, which actually leads me perfect into the next section of talking about your marketing, which is something that's really vital to businesses. And I like to learn about how businesses are, doing their marketing. And so, being curious about this, what would you say your percentage of like your monthly budget goes into marketing? Are you looking at percentages or how are you tracking your marketing dollars?
Uh, my wife's probably the best person to answer this, being as she's the marketing guru and has the experience of working with that, and she's always told me that your marketing budget should be fairly significant. But from my side of things, it's marketing is key. It's crucial to getting yourself out there, and I think see in terms of the budget side, it's difficult to say because it kind of depends what we're doing. If we're working very solidly with a client, we've got a good project on, then our head's going to be down and ultimately searching for the right level of candidates and doing some deep diving from that perspective. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to say. I wouldn't be able to say what sort of budget it is, but it is a crucial part of it, and hence why we've got a website that's informative. We put a lot of effort into the presentations that we give out to clients and talk through, making sure that obviously our LinkedIn platform is up to date and regularly posted. So and obviously we're always looking at the Google Analytics and trying to get our SEO up and that side of things. So yeah, it's all very important, but putting finance or all a sort of money side of it is a difficult thing for me to say at this time.
Well, you mentioned a few platforms that you're using. What would you say are your strongest like social media platforms that you're utilizing today?
I would say LinkedIn. It's become such a crucial part of what we do. You only need to look back 10 years or so, a little bit longer when LinkedIn wasn't even there. But since it's come in, it's been great in terms of just having those additional networks and reaches and seeing what people are up to and looking at all the analytics side of things from that. So certainly LinkedIn, I would say, is number one for us to utilize.
So when you're on LinkedIn, do you like you probably get leads there? Do you have a CRM that you're utilizing right now to kind of track your leads?
Yeah, so we implemented Job Adder, so we've had that on in place now for a good couple of years. As I started the business, it was Excel spreadsheets and emails and all sorts, and yeah, it came to a point where I had to implement something, and we did a lot of analysis into different CRMs and ATSs, and Job Adder came up as one of the top choices, and we still utilize it to this day.
Well, we spent some great time talking about marketing and your business, but I really want to deep dive into you, like the guy behind the business. So, what made you go into business for yourself as opposed to working for someone else? And how was that transition like for you?
So it actually, I was working an organization for it was 12 years that I spent with the company. And back in 2020, the COVID situation impacted us massively, and lost a lot of business within a space of a couple of months. And due to that, I was unfortunately made redundant from my post as recruitment director. So I had a bit of time off, and during that time, obviously I was heavily engaged with the organisation. So day to day was always had a lot to do, and actually the 3 months I had off just gave me that opportunity to sit back and work out exactly what I wanted to do next. Had a couple of opportunities which came my way, which was staying within the corporate environment, so sort of similar level to the role that I was doing, and actually another role that was a step down. But it was actually talking to family members, and they just said, well, why don't you set up your own? It was something that I'd always thought about, and really it was a case of, if I don't do it now, it'll more than likely it will never happen. And just decided to take the plunge, and touch wood, 3.5 years we're still going strong. So it was certainly it was tough at the time, and it's tough for a lot of people, but yeah, we got through it. And I still recall a couple of people saying, you're starting a business during COVID. It's one of the worst things that's happened to us, and you're starting this, that's crazy. But yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going well. And I love your story, because that's when I hear stories like that, how you were kind of presented with this opportunity, but it was like, if you don't take it, you're never going to know, but you're moving
Yeah.
forward with it. So it's that time, there's like so much energy going on, because you're like, there's so many unknowns. So I think that's awesome to hear that you're growing, and you got through that time, which actually kind of leads me into my next question. Looking back at your journey so far, I know COVID was a big you know, part of that journey, but what has it been another memorable roadblock that you've had, that you've worked through and became stronger from within your business?
So we were heavily involved with a startup company, and actually they were growing sort of growing, and they started up at a similar time to ourselves. So an EV electric vehicle company, and we placed a good number of candidates in there. I think it was over 30 permanent heads that we put into this organisation over a year to sort of 18-month period. And yeah, fully established in there, got to know all the managers, and yeah, it was a great opportunity. But suddenly the funding was stopped, and the brakes were put on, and we were no longer required to support the organisation, because ultimately they were close to closing the doors. So at that time, we sort of thought, oh, okay, it's one of our main companies, and we went from a number of vacancies to zero. So we very quickly had to establish other relationships. We did have other clients we were dealing with, but not on that volume, and very quickly had to sort of try and build up some other business elsewhere. And through, again, the networks and everything, we managed to find a similar organization, albeit they weren't a startup. They were an established company, and got to a similar level with them, and again placed over 30 permanent heads with that business over a similar period. So it was a tough position to be in, because we were sort of flying high and working efficiently, to suddenly, right, you're not needed anymore. So that was tricky, but we worked our way around it.
That's good to hear. You came through even stronger, for sure. And kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
looking at the future of your business, what are you thinking about for the next 3 years?
So, I mean, I've always liked to be in a position of growth. I think this year hasn't been easy. Obviously, with the state of the economy, and everything that's going on out there, and the impending UK election that's coming up in a month's time, it's a real sort of rocky ride at the moment. So I think certainly over the next 6 months we'll probably remain steady with the team that we've got. But yeah, I'm always sort of looking to see if we can grow and try going into other sectors, because generally, having been within this industry for a long time, we do go through cycles, and when a recession hits, automotive is one of the ones that's hit really badly, because no one's going to go out and buy a brand new car when they've not got a huge amount of of money to spend. So yeah, I'd always be looking at potential growth. Fortunately, actually, because as you say, you're from America, we've actually got a US office. So my brother's running an office over there in San Francisco. So we've got that, and who knows, that could be something that also grows and establishes over the next few years. So we are international, which is fantastic. Obviously UK and USA. So you never know. We could be looking at going even more global. So let's see what happens.
That is really cool. I like to hear that. Maybe you'll have an office in Austin, Texas one day.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a good industry over there. There's some good stuff going on. So you never know.
Well, that is so fun to hear. I like to hear like when you're getting that international, global reach. That's an incredible feat for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. No, it's good to have that as part of the organization. That's fairly new as well. That's only been in the last sort of 6 weeks or so. But no, it's exciting.
Very much. Well, we have covered some incredible ground in this conversation. And for those of you watching, those of you listening, I highly encourage you listen to this episode a couple of times. You're going to get so many great nuggets out of this. And so I'm ready to dive into some rapid fire questions. These are just these questions that answer top of mind, first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready for some rapid fire?
Let's go. Right, I'm ready. Hit me.
All right. Question number one. What is a key to success for you?
Um, Satisfaction, job satisfaction, coming away from a day's work and saying, right, I've done everything I've needed to do, and yeah, just feel great about it, and yeah, just and also having that sort of thought of, right, you've done that, you've done your day job. Now let's focus on having some time with the family and that side of things.
I love that balance. What is one piece of advice you would have for other business owners?
Keep going. There's going to be times where it's tough. There's going to be difficult times. There's going to be times when it's fantastic and it's working brilliantly and you're hitting and smashing targets. But yeah, when you're down, just keep going.
Great advice. What is one book or piece of content? It could be a podcast, anything that you've taken in most recently.
I tend to listen to a few podcasts. I'm not an avid book reader, so yeah. Although uh, I was looking over the Savage Truth, which was obviously a book that was created by a startup, and I was reading through that again just to get a few notes, but a few tips. But Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett, I listened to that a fair bit. And also there's a few others I'm sort of tinkering with at the moment, but that's probably the main one. Yeah, just to sort of get thoughts and advice from from, well, they're not really CEOs, are they? But from celebrities and medical industry and that side of things. Just to give me a fresh approach on things.
Oh, wonderful. I'm always a fan of a good podcast.
Absolutely.
Our final question. If you had to choose only one area in your business that you could immediately improve on tomorrow, what would it be?
I would say it would be, I would say it's more streamlined in terms of the client, maybe one or two clients on board. I think you can never say never to more business, and at the moment, because of the year, I would say that it's going to be a couple of good solid partner clients to work with. That would be the one thing at the moment.
That's a good one too, Nick. Thank you so much for answering these rapid fire questions. And before we dive into our final question for today, how can people learn about your business? Feel free to share your contact information.
Sure. So you can find us. We've got the website, which has got all the contact details and things on it. So www.bakerandbakerrecruitment.co.uk. We're also, as I said, on LinkedIn. We've got the Baker and Baker Recruitment company profile. There's my profile, Nick Baker, and so by all means, link in, connect with me that way. And that's, let's say, those are the best platforms to be able to reach out and learn more about us and get in touch. And if anybody obviously wants to have a conversation about any roles or vacancies or growth, even benchmarking in the industry, obviously more than happy to help with that. And likewise, if you're a candidate looking for your next opportunity, then give us a shout and we'll see what we can do to help.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Nick, for sharing your information. We've got one final question for you today. What is most inspiring to you today?
Most inspiring.
Mhm.
That's I think it's just the fact that there's so much out there. There's so much to learn. There's always things to go after. There's always things to pick up. There's always things to know about. We're not all fully polished, and yeah, there's just a wealth of support out there, and it's great to see. I'm always looking at that. So that's always something that I'm inspired by.
Well, thank you, Nick, for this incredible conversation. It's been a joy to talk to you and learn about you and your business. So thank you for being a guest on the show.
Thanks, Kay. Really appreciate it.